Legends of the Force rocks! Hello and welcome to the table, and today I am back with another full set review video, this time for Legends of the Force, the next Star Wars Unlimited set. So let's dive right into things. Starting off with the leaders, the first one being Kylo Ren. Now, as an action, you can exhaust and discard a card from your hand, and then if you've discarded an upgrade this way, you get to draw a card. So you get a little bit of cycling. Seems interesting. But it's even more interesting once you have 7 or more resources, you get to flip Kylo into a 5/5 Sentinel. But thankfully there's more, because when you deploy Kylo Ren, you can play any number of upgrades from your discard pile onto this unit, one at a time, and unfortunately having to pay their costs. If it would put those upgrades on the Kylo for free, wonderful, amazing leader that could probably see play maybe. But now it's probably just kind of garbage because you have to pay the cost for all those upgrades, which, don't get me wrong, there are some pretty cool upgrades out there, but I feel like if they were free, it would make Kylo quite a bit better. But it also might make him a little bit too powerful, but it just, I don't know. I feel like Kylo isn't great. But then there's Mother Talzin, which I think is really interesting. As an action, you can exhaust Mother Talzin, use the Force, lose your Force token, which you can get from various effects in this set that I'll get to later down the line, including some bases. But then you get to give a unit -1/-1 for the phase, which seems bad. It just shrinks a thing by -1/-1, and you lose a token that's pretty valuable. But once you have 5 or more resources, it's a 3/7 that on attack gives a unit -1/-1 for the phase. So, Mother Talzin and the Night Sisters, that kind of style deck just wants to shrink stuff down a lot. I feel like the front side ability of Mother Talzin is basically never going to be used unless you absolutely need it in order to kill a thing. Or you're just going to use the backside whenever you get to Mother Talzin to just help you in your game plan of making the opponent's stuff smaller, and then either making it small enough to where they don't hit you for as much, or you just kill the things more easily. Like shrink something down enough to where something like a takedown can get at it. Or it's just small enough to where you can do something with one of your Night Sisters, and then it dies. Seems like a decent control style deck, but I'm not 100% sure how to judge it just yet. But then there is Ahsoka Tano, a really cool looking leader. As an action, you can exhaust or use the Force, and then give a friendly unit Sentinel for the phase. Which, okay, seems pretty good. Giving out Sentinel for free, you have to lose the Force, yes. But it seems like a decent roadblock to help slow down your opponent. Because once you have 6 or more resources, you can flip Ahsoka, which is a decent amount. But when you flip Ahsoka, she's a 5/6 that on attack gives a friendly unit Sentinel for the phase. Which is pretty freaking good. I mean, it's just constant roadblock on your opponent every turn so long as Ahsoka sticks around. And if you don't think she's going to stick around long, just slap Sentinel onto her and just be like, okay, you want to get rid of my leader? You have to come at my leader. And you can't come at any of my other stuff, which can maybe help you to get rid of a lot of your opponent's board. Or if you really want Ahsoka to stick around, you can just put it on another one of your units, maybe bigger units. And then Ahsoka, I don't know, it's just like, it seems good. It doesn't seem like the most busted deck in the world, but it seems like it has potential. But then there is Kanan Jarrus. This guy, I really want to be good. Because as an action, you can spend a resource and exhaust Kanan to give a shield token to a creature or specter unit. Which is really cool because 1 resource to give out a shield, I would say 1 resource is definitely equivalent to 1 shield token. So that is really good. I think that this effect is really good because, I mean, permitted that it's a specter or creature, which there are quite a few of those, and they're getting better, then yeah, I think Kanan Jarrus can be really solid just off of the front side alone. But then you get to the back, and he's a 3/6 shielded. Once you flip him at 6 resources, he's a 3/6 shielded, which is a terribly statted body, but while you control another creature or spectre unit, it gets +2/+2. So it could be, once you flip him for 6 resources, likely a 5/8 with a shield on him, which is really powerful and a really good beat stick. And it kind of gives you an idea of what Cannon's wanting to do. I think the deck's going to be want to be fairly aggressive and make it pretty hard for your opponent to get rid of your stuff with those shield tokens. Maybe have a couple of good hidden units in your deck that have a lot of power, like cards I'll get to later. Like a 2-resource 4/1 hidden, so that you can't attack it on the first turn that you play it. Then you can give a shield token to it with Cannon, and then just ensure that it sticks around for longer, deals more damage, and you just be aggressive, do stupid things, and have Cannon in the back end is kind of like a good closer, because a 5/8 shielded, that's pretty hard to remove. Not gonna lie. But then I got Morgan Elsbeth. As an action, you can exhaust her, choose a friendly unit that attack this phase, and then play a unit from your hand that shares a keyword with the chosen unit, and it costs 1 less to play. It's basically like a really long-winded way to play something for 1 less resource, which can be powerful, don't get me wrong, but it's got to have a keyword, and you already got to have something that attacked with that keyword on the board. So you gotta have a lot to go right in order to get that cost reduction. And once you have 5 resources, it's a 3/6 that on attack says the next unit you play costs 1 less if it shares a keyword with a friendly unit. So it's an easier way to give a cost reduction on one of your things, but it still doesn't seem great to me. I just generally don't think this leader looks very good at all. So sorry, but I don't like it. Doesn't seem powerful enough. Seems pretty bad. But then there's Supreme Leader Snoke, which I sort of wanted there to not be Snoke and wanted there to be a new Palpatine. But unfortunately, we didn't get a new Palpatine. Snoke is kind of Palpatine, but just a worse version. But, let's see what he does. As an action, a lot of you, including myself, probably already know what he does. But let's just, As an action, you can spend a resource, exhaust him, give a unit an experience token Give an experience token to the unit with the most power among friendly villainous units. And if multiple units are tied, just choose one and then give an experience token to it. To one of the ones that's tied for the most power. So it seems like a good way to make your big stuff bigger, which can be really good. I don't think it's insane. I think experience tokens and shield tokens are roughly worth around 1 resource. I think shields are more valuable than experience tokens every day of the week. But I would say experience tokens are generally worth about a resource too, because I think free experience tokens might be a little bit too good right now. As the game gets a little bit older, then maybe it'll probably be more valuable to have a shield that costs 1 resource to basically put out, whereas an experience would probably be more free to put out. But yeah, Supreme Leader Snoke, that seems fine. Just a good way to make big stuff bigger. And once you have 6 resources, he's a 4/7 that on attack gives an experience token to a unit with the most power among friendly villainous units. So that seems pretty good. It's just kind of doing the same thing. It just makes your big stuff bigger. I don't know if it's insane. I think it's going to be wanting to ramp a decent amount and then just play really big things and then just keep making them bigger. I don't know how powerful that's going to be necessarily, but it seems interesting. But then there is Avar Kriss, which is really interesting because, it's the biggest unit leader that we have ever seen. Because as an action, you can use the Force, exhaust her, and just say the Force is with you. Which is really powerful. Insanely powerful. But, as an epic action, if the number of resources you control, plus the number of times you use the Force this turn, is 9 or more, then you deploy this leader. So you can use the Force, let's say 2 times in a turn, and you have 7 resources. Then you can flip Avar Kriss. Let's say that you've used the Force somehow 4 times in a turn, and you have 5 resources lying around. Then you can use Avar Kriss. Then you can flip Avar Kriss. Now you might be thinking, what's Avar Kriss on the other side? A 4/10, that while the Force is with you, this unit gets +4 power and overwhelm. So the way that I'm kind of looking at it is it's similar to Kanan in the sense that, like, oh, I'm going to use the leader as the final beat stick to end out the game. But Avar Kriss is going to be a little bit more setup-like. There's going to be a lot more setting up going on. There's going to be a lot more... It's going to be more mid-rangey. I'd say Kanan's a little bit more aggressive. Avar Kriss is a lot more mid-rangey. Avar Kriss is basically just wanting to just play a lot of value cards that get even more value off of the Force being with you. Doing that a couple of times in a turn on your big, like, flip Avar Kriss turn. Avar Kriss turn. And then once you have done it enough and you have enough resources, boom, you flip Avar Kriss. Hope you just have the Force with you still. Like, using Avar Kriss's ability to just say, okay, I got the Force again. Then you flip her, 8-10 overwhelm, smack your opponent for 8, and then get that much closer to just killing them. It seems like a very interesting deck. Out of all the decks, I would say Avar Kriss is one of the more interesting ones to me, and the one that I would want to try and build more, because it just seems like it's a fun deck building challenge to figure out, like, what would work and what would be best to make her work. So it seems like a really fun and interesting deck. I don't know if it's going to be necessarily super powerful, but it definitely seems very interesting, which is cool. But then there's Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love Obi-Wan. I love his character. He's one of my favorite Force dudes in the game, in the Star Wars universe. I mean, in the game too, because it is Star Wars, but in Star Wars, Obi-Wan's one of my favorite Jedi. Is what I'm trying to say, and doing it horribly. But as an action, you can exhaust him, use the Force, lose your Force token, and then give an experience token to a unit without an experience token on it. This is what I'm talking about. This is way better than Snoke right off the get-go. I don't know why there's a car going off right now. That's annoying. But basically, you get to give an experience token out for free every turn, permitting you have the Force. So it's good. It's not necessarily giving out an experience token every turn for free, but it is, in a sense, so long as you have the Force. So you got to do a little bit of setup, but if you do, you get to give experience tokens out to stuff that doesn't have experience tokens every turn, and you're probably want to go a little bit wider with Obi-Wan to really take advantage of that. Like, instead of having one unit, one big unit like Snoke, you want to have, like, 3 units in Obi-Wan. And then just, like, experience, because you're not going to be doing it every turn, likely. I don't think there's that many ways to give you the Force every turn. I mean, unless you have a certain base that I'll get to later, but still. It seems interesting, and once you have 5 or more resources, he's a 3/6 that on attack, gives an experience token to another unit without an experience token on it. I think the backside's really cool. I want to say, oh, it should be a 3/7 to make it more powerful, but if you do that to enough leaders, that's just not a very good thing, because we all know what happened with Boba Fett having been a 3/7. That flips on 5, because that's a fairly static body that flips on 5. But yeah, it seems like a cool leader. I don't think it's going to be the most powerful leader in the set by any means, but I think it could be very interesting and cool. Not as cool and interesting as Avar Kriss, but still. But then, getting to the next leader, I got Darth Maul, one of the super rares. You can, as an action, use the Force, exhaust him, deal 1 damage to a unit, and then deal 1 damage to a different unit. Get to deal 2 damage effectively. Great against Darth Vader, the one that really cares about going, like, really wide with TIE Fighter tokens. But seems neat, seems cool. Great against Swarm decks. Once you have 6 or more, flips into a 5/6 that on attack, deals 1 damage to a unit, deals 1 damage to a different unit. It's not, like, insane by any means, but considering what some of the actual, like, main set leaders are like, this one is actually one of the better ones, which is kind of sad to me and really annoying, because, you know, like, there are really cool characters in the world of Star Wars, and you pick, like, Kylo Ren and Morgan Elsbeth and Snoke as, like, ooh, look at this! And they suck, but then you have Maul out here, and he's pretty cool. First off, he's one of the cooler Force users in the history of Star Wars, in my mind, in my opinion. But also, he's just better than a lot of these ones that we've seen so far. Like, Kylo, Morgan, and Snoke are all worse than Darth Maul, in my opinion. Yay. But speaking of bad leaders, I got a couple of more I gotta talk about. The first one being Third Sister. I just don't know why they made her a leader. Just, like, don't make characters that barely anybody gives a shit about leaders. But yeah, am I salty? Yes, and I don't care. But Third Sister, as an action, you can exhaust her, play a unit from your hand, and it gets hidden for the phase. So it can't be attacked for the phase unless it has Sentinel. So, whoopee-dee. It's cool, I guess. It's not insane, but yeah. Once you have 5 resources, though, you can flip her. She's a 5/4 hidden, and on attack, the next unit you play this phase gets hidden. It seems interesting. It doesn't seem like the most insane deck in the world, but it could be a decent aggressive deck because you put a couple of things on her, like a couple of upgrades on her. She can't be attacked the turn that she flips. So I don't know, could deal a decent amount of damage and do a decent amount of work, but definitely not insane. Then there's Kit Fisto. As an action, you can spend a resource, exhaust him, and if you've attacked with a Jedi unit this phase, you deal 2 damage to a unit. I mean, it's cool. It's not nuts, but it's cool. And then once you flip him, he's a 1/6 Saboteur that gets +1 power for each other friendly Jedi unit. That is a lot cooler. I feel like it kind of reminds me of Luke in a sense. Like, it could be a really powerful aggressive deck that can also, like, do well against other aggressive decks by managing their boards a little bit, if you need to. Otherwise, it's just, like, a good Jedi aggro deck. And that could be powerful. I don't know how powerful necessarily that'll be compared to something like Sabine, which I know myself and pretty much the entirety of the world is tired of at this point. But, yeah. Kit Fisto seems interesting. Not, like, insane, but it seems like a lot of fun, potentially. It seems like a fun aggro deck. But then there's Rey. Woo, another character that nobody gives a shit about. In my opinion. But then, Rey, as an action, you can exhaust her, and if you've played a non-unit force, what? If you've played a non-unit force card this phase, you deal 1 damage to a unit. Cool, I guess. And then once you have 7 resources, you flip her into a 6/8 that when deployed, you may discard your hand and then draw 2 cards. I mean, see, you know what's a really cool 6/8 body? Kanan. Technically, it's a 5/8 body, but I don't care. It flips 1 turn earlier than Rey. It has 1 less power. And in Rey, sure, she can draw you 2 cards, permitting that you discard your hand, which you're generally going to do this when you have no cards left in your hand. But, like, there's gotta be some amount of setup, and it flips at 7, so, like, how often is this gonna really flip? So, it's just, like, nobody. Rey, nobody. And she is a nobody. Because, like, nothing against, like, the actress who played Rey, but, like, the character sucks, in my opinion, and it's just, like, I get it. You want to appeal to the new stuff, and I understand that. But there are a lot cooler new stuff that you could be doing. But here we are with Rey. See, you want to appeal to new people, talk more about the legends, because that isn't talked about enough. In my opinion, it's not talked about enough. Do more legend stuff. This is called Legends of the Force. You introduce the legend stuff. Have more legend stuff. Rey is not a legend. I mean, in a sense. But, like, Rey, compared to some of the old Legends characters, like, what do you want more? Do you want Rey, which we've already seen, or do you want a cool-ass Legends character? Like, leave a comment down below and tell me your thoughts. And yes, I get that I'm salty, but I honestly don't care. I just am tired of them doing this to leaders. It's like, you can make cool leaders. You've made cool leaders. Make cool new leaders. Like, don't have Sabine be the best aggro deck. Make another cool, like, leader that we love and care about, like Luke Skywalker. Why couldn't Luke be... I mean, Luke's a powerful aggro deck, don't get me wrong, but, like, he's worse than Sabine. How? It's Luke Skywalker. Okay, anyways, I'll shut up now. But then there's Barasafi. So, first Cunning leader. Let's see if they're good. But so Cunning is, cares about events. And Barasafi here cares about some events. So, as an action, you can exhaust or use the Force, and then play an event from your hand and it costs 1 less. So you could Surprise Strike for 1. You could Punch It for nothing. You could outmaneuver for 2. You could, there's a lot of very powerful events. You could Waylay for 2. I mean, there's a lot of really stupid things that you could do with Barasafi by making an event cost 1 less. So, great start. And once you have 6 resources, flips into a 4/7 that on attack, or as an action, you can use the Force, play an event from your hand, and it costs 1 less. Honestly, I think this is probably the best way that you could translate that over to the leader side, to the unit side of the leader. Because, I mean, if it on attack says the next event you play from your hand this phase costs 1 less, I feel like that might be a little bit too good. And sure, you can do this multiple times in a turn, but you have to use the Force every time you do it. That's the way that you gotta look at it, in my opinion. So, it's sure, you can play 2 events from your hand that cost, put together 2 less. But you have to use the Force each time. You have to have the ability to use the Force and get the Force in order to do that twice. So it's just I get it, but I feel like this is the best way that they could balance the unit side of the leader, and it seems cool. I like the Barasafi character. This is cool. Should it be in the Legends of the Force set? I don't know, but this seems like a really interesting leader. It's a take on Cunning that doesn't just say, hey, we'll be interactive and aggressive. We're just gonna care more about events this time. Offie is just caring a lot about events, and I like that, in my opinion. But yeah, anyways, then I got Grand Inquisitor. Not the one from the Rebels show, the other one. I mean, I think they're the same Grand Inquisitor. They are the same Grand Inquisitor, but yeah. Anyways, this guy here, as an action, you can exhaust him, use the Force, and then attack with a friendly unit. The defender gets -2 power for the phase. Seems interesting. Seems like a good way to kind of help you manage the board state. I don't know if it's worth using the Force token because, it's just makes this guy pretty freaking terrible outside of limited, but yeah, what are you gonna do? But then once you have 5 more resources, you flip him into a 3/5 shielded, which is that's decent. And on attack, the defender gets -2 power for the attack. So it seems interesting. Doesn't seem insane, but it seems interesting. So yes, it's not good. But then there's Cal Kestis. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is cool. This is cool. Cal Kestis, I barely know anything about him, but he seems sick. He's got a little droid buddy, which I love dudes with little droid buddies, and he's cool. The character seems cool. There's a lot of people that say Cal Kestis is the best Jedi. I don't know how many people, how true that is, because I don't know Cal Kestis that much, but still, seems interesting. And seems like a good legend, because he's so legendary in the Star Wars community. This is what I'm talking about. And it's a common, not a rare, so you're going to see more of it, so really good. Seems really good. Seems like it'll be really good, because as an action, you can exhaust him, use the Force, and say an opponent chooses a readied unit they control, and exhaust that unit. So Cad Bane is pretty powerful, right? It says, hey, the opponent, when I play an Underworld card, I can exhaust Cad Bane and say, opponent, choose one of your units. It takes a damage. This is the same thing, but it exhausts. Now, at the cost of you using a Force token, but still, that is really powerful. Really powerful. So I really like that about Cal Kestis. I don't know, just seems really good to me. Powerful to me, I mean. And then once you have 4 more resources, you flip him into a 3/4. That on attack, say an opponent chooses a ready unit they control, and you exhaust that unit. It flips early, way earlier than Cad Bane, and just on attack, on attack, on attack, on attack. Exhaust, 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 exhaust. So if you can keep the opponent's, like, I don't know, against a Swarm deck, this deck is gonna be awful. But against other decks, it just seems good to me, especially against a deck that only has like 1 or 2 units on the board at a time. Like a deck that just goes really big, Cal Kestis seems absurdly good against. Even a deck that has like 4 or 5 units on the board at a time, like Sabine, for example, it seems good because a lot of what Cunning does is exhaust and bounce and stuff like that. And Cunning Heroism has really been like overshadowed compared to Cunning Villainy. And honestly, I'm tired of Cunning, but I kind of want to see Cunning Heroism get its time in the sun before Cunning just completely sucks because Star Wars Unlimited goes so many sets without doing jack squat to Cunning. Because honestly, that's what they need to do. Basically, don't print any Cunning cards for like 3 sets, and then just keep printing all the other aspects, and then just make aggression the best aspect, because realistically, that's probably the most powerful of the other 3. But yeah, Cal Kestis seems really powerful to me, really strong to me, but hey, leave a comment down below and tell me your thoughts. But then there's Qui-Gon Jinn, the other super rare leader. Also Cunning Heroism. As an action, you can exhaust him, use the Force, and then return a friendly non-leader unit to the owner's hand, then play a non-villainy unit that costs less than the return unit from your hand for free. Seems powerful. It just says, bounce a thing, play a thing. It's kind of like, if you ever played One Piece before, Law, Trafalgar Law, like thematically, absolutely perfect. Room, just basically like moving all this stuff around, just switching things around, and it's just like taking one unit, bouncing it back to your hand, like it's just swapping, getting ready to swap, and then swaps it in, just boom, plays a new unit, likely a same cost, bigger, something like that, just a different unit, and then you're just getting a ton of value out of it. This is very similar to that, but it's the Star Wars version, and I think that's really cool because it makes it a very interesting deck, makes it a potentially very powerful deck, and it seems like there's a lot of deck building challenge behind it just to try to figure it out, and it seems like a good old fun time, and you know I like that. Just kind of doing a lot of stuff that tinkers around with the brain. But then as an epic action, once you have 6 or more resources, you flip Qui-Gon into a 4/7 that when this completes an attack and survives, you do the frontside effect, which is without having to use the Force. Bounce a thing, play a thing that costs less, that's not a non-villainy, for free from your hand. It's just like switching things around, getting a ton of effects, getting a ton of when plays over and over and over again. Probably like that 2-cost Cunning Heroism thing that says when played, create the Force or something like that. The Force is with you. That card seems dumb in this deck, and just a ton of cards seem really stupid in this deck. Like potentially if you just keep using them over and over and over and over again. So yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn seems like he could be really powerful. But then, last 2, Darth Revan, just Villainy. No other aspects, just Villainy. So you're going to only get 2 aspects with Darth Revan. And then when a friendly unit completes and defeats a unit, or when a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may exhaust this leader, and if you do, you get to give an experience token to that friendly unit. Seems pretty good. Get to give out experience tokens for free. Remember when I said earlier that it would be really powerful to give experience tokens out for free? I mean, like, more powerful than it usually is? Then yeah, Darth Revan does that. And once you have 5 or more resources, you flip Revan into a 3/6 restore 1. So basically a 4/6 that flips on 5. Doesn't seem too bad to me. And then when a friendly unit completes attacks and defeats a unit, you may give an experience token to that friendly unit. So same thing as the front, except it's multiple times a turn, potentially. It just seems like a really powerful deck that can just, like, keep attacking with stuff, keep killing stuff, keep making your stuff, like, stick around for a little bit longer thanks to those experience tokens. It just seems really powerful to me. I don't know. Is it going to be the best deck in the game? Probably not. Is it going to be one of the most interesting decks to build around because there's just so many directions that you can go? 1010%. But yeah. Then there's Anakin. Another really interesting leader to build around. It's just Heroism. No other stuff. It's kind of like Revan, but for Heroism, which is really cool. But as an action, you can exhaust, use the Force, and then play a Villainy non-unit card from your hand, ignoring its aspect penalties. So basically what you can do is just play Villainy cards and Heroism cards and another aspect worth of cards. So you get access to cards that you would never think of before. Like, you could play Cunning with Anakin and get access to Cunning, Heroism, and Villainy cards all in one deck, which to me seems absurd and stupid. So, yeah. Seems cool. And once you have 5 or more resources, you can flip Anakin into a 4/6 that, as an action, you can use the Force and play a non-unit card from your hand, ignoring its aspect penalties. So same kind of dealio. Seems really powerful, seems really good. And it just, I don't know, seems like it could be a really interesting deck. Maybe as interesting, if not more than Revan, which is really cool to me. But yeah, that is the leaders. Now, into the bases. The first one being Virgin's Temple, a 25 health base that says, when the regroup phase starts, if you control a unit with 4 or more remaining HP, the Force is with you. So that's really good to me, because it's just like, you get the Force, you get the Force, you get the Force. The Force is just with you. It just keeps being with you just all the time, every turn, permitting you have a big enough unit sticking around. So in 4 or more, that's not a lot, because, like, generally the first unit that you're playing has 3 health. Then every unit after is generally going to have 4 or more health. So basically after turn 1, at the end of every turn after the first one, you're just going to have the Force with you every turn, permitting you have a unit on the board, because that unit likely, very likely, is going to have more than 4 HP. So, in a kind of more mid-rangey deck that wants access to the Force and is just so happening to need a Cunning base, a Vigilance base, seems like the perfect base to me. But yeah. Then, also there's a cycle of bases. There's 2 for each, kind of like the 30 health bases of this set. They're basically the 30 health bases of this set. They only have 28 HP. And when a friendly Force unit attacks, the Force is with you. So you can get access to the Force every turn. It's basically a good limited card. I don't think it's going to really see play outside of limited. I mean, it might. But these cards, there are 2 of them for every single aspect, and they all have 28 HP, and they can all get you the Force. Say that the Force is with you, permitting that you attack with the friendly Force unit. So it seems really good. Potentially. But then, the other 25 health base for green this time is Mystic Monastery, which is really powerful, potentially insanely powerful in Avar Chris, because 25 HP as an action, the Force is with you, and you can use this ability no more than 3 times each game. So it's a really powerful way to just get the Force, get the Force, get the Force, get the Force, just get it over and over and over and over again. So you can get the Force up to 4 times in 1 turn in Avar Chris using her own ability. And if you can use that ability 4 times in that turn, and you have enough resources, boom! You flip Avar Chris, maybe the Force is still with you, and then you just deal a crap ton of damage, and then get that much closer to winning a game. It seemed powerful to me. But yeah. Then I got Then I got Temple of Destruction. The next 25 health base, it says when a friendly unit deals 3 or more combat damage to an enemy base, the force is with you. That seems really dumbly powerful to me in aggression decks that just, like, don't really know, like, how am I supposed to get the force? Like, in Cunning, for example, this card seems dumb because it's, like, a really good way to get the force, and I don't know how much Cunning's going to want to use the force, but if he wants to use it a lot, this is a really good way to do it. Or in a deck like, I don't know, Kit Fisto, Jedi deck. I imagine the Jedi want to use the Force a lot. They do. They really do. This card can say, hey, when I deal 3 or more damage, I get the Force. And it's double aggression heroism, sure. But it seems really powerful to me, and just like a good way to just keep getting the Force, potentially every single turn, which is really powerful. Then there is Tomb of Elrum. I'm pretty sure this is from the Jedi game that I cannot remember Cal Kestis is in. But it's the one that Cal Kestis is in. I'm pretty sure this is one of the places that you go to at some point that Cal Kestis is at. But yeah, this one says, as an action, you can exhaust a friendly unit and just say the force is with you. This, I mean, there are all the 25 health bases that just say, hey, the force is with you basically every single turn. They all seem really powerful to me, and this one is one of the more powerful ones because you just got a bunch of little dudes lying around. You get to just exhaust one of them every turn and just keep saying the force is with you, 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 and it's like dumb. It's just really, really dumb. But that's it for the bases. Let's head into the units, events, and upgrades. And I'm going to quickly scroll down and say that 120 is on a page now, so it's a little bit easier to scroll through all of these. But getting into the massive 237 cards, let's just get right into things. But so first, I got Vigilance, Villainy, the first card being Karis. 2 cost 2/4, which is really well statted, honestly, for like a body. Usually 2 resource 2/3 is what you want. But a 2 resource 2/4, like that's pretty good. But anyways, when defeated, you may use the force, and then if you do, you give a unit -2/-2 for the phase. So that is what I was talking about earlier with Mother Talzin. This card is just really like, shrink this stuff down. Let's just shrink everything down. You have to use the force to do it, which sucks, but it's still fine. It's not like the end of the world. It's a powerful card. It's a powerful card. But then there is Magistrate's Scout, a 3 resource 2/4 restore 2. It's just a decently statted body. Like it's nothing insane by any means, but it's fine. Just restore some life, and it comes in for a decent-ish amount of damage, and has a decent amount of health. Then there's Nameless Terror, a 3 resource 3/3 that when played you may exhaust a force unit. Really good in draft, and on attack, each enemy unit loses the force trait for the phase. This card is a staple in draft. Outside of draft, I mean, it could be decent in sideboards, in the right sideboard. I just don't really know, though, honestly. But then there is Supremacy Tie SF. This card is very good because it's a 3 resource 3/3 Sentinel in space. Now, Vigilance, Villainy, notably does not really have a ton of great ways to stop space early. I mean, they have some pretty good ways if you're P-it, because, you know, you can play, what's the card called? That, like, Fleet Interdictor on turn 4 consistently. But this card, on turn 2, in any deck with these aspects, can get Space Sentinel. So it's really very powerful to me, in my opinion, for that reason. Because if you need it, you need it bad. And this can do it. Now, if it was a 2/4, I think it would be way better, but still. But then there is Talzin's Assassin, a 4 resource 4/4 that when played you may use the force, and if you do, give a unit -3/-3 for the phase. This card is really powerful to me because it's kind of like almost ambushing something in, but almost a little bit better, but at the same time a little bit worse, because you get to keep the unit around. Like, this reminds me a lot of Forlom. For some weird reason. It's a 4-resource 4/4 ambush, essentially. And Talzin's Assassin here is also a 4-resource 4/4. But when played, you gotta use the Force token. The other card doesn't. But it gives a thing -3/3 for the face, which, really good. Can kill a thing early, pretty easily, like a good turn 2, maybe a turn, like some turn 1, every turn 1 play, basically. Some turn 2 plays, and you can play this on turn 3. And this unit can stick around. That's the important thing. So it just seems like a decent card. Not the most insane thing ever, but it seems decent. But then there is Old Daka, a 5-resource 6/6 that when played you may defeat a friendly knight unit not named Old Daka, such as, I don't know, a Karis? And Old Daka says then you may play a unit, that unit, from your discard pile for free. So basically you get to cycle a thing out. So you get to play a Karis later on down the line, play an Old Daka, and then just get to reuse the ability of, I don't know why that happened, but get to reuse the ability of your cards. So Old Daka seems really good. But then there is Darth Vader, a 6-resource 5/6 that when played you may give a shield token to a friendly unit, and unfortunately to an enemy unit, sorry. But on attack, you do get to defeat an enemy unit with a shield token on it. So that's really powerful. And it basically hoses Gar Saxon. But Darth Vader seems like a powerful card. I mean, a 6-resource 5/6 that gives a shield out and can on attack kill your opponent's stuff, including like their biggest thing that you can just give a shield to, and then just, I don't know, seems like a solid legendary to me. Not the most insane one ever, but it seems very solid. But then there is Ponkrell, a 7-resource 2/9 grit that says when this unit completes an attack and survives, you may defeat a unit with less remaining HP than this unit's power. So basically, you get to attack in with stuff, get a little bit of grit action, then, you know, you get to defeat a thing that maybe the thing that you just attacked, like, get it down a couple of points of life, and then just, boom, kill the thing, because it has less life than the now massive amount of power that Ponkrell might have. So, I don't know, it seems like a good way to both defeat units and stick a really big body down, and maybe even do it twice. So, it can attack a base, complete and attack a base, and still get its effect off. It doesn't have to attack units. So it seems very solid. Seems like a big, good way to, like, end games in Vigilance Villainy. Or, like, a good way to help manage games in the later portions. But then there's Darth Sidious. We know this card already. I've talked about it before, but it's an 8-resource 6/8, restore 2. When played, you may use the Force. If you do, you defeat each non-Sith unit with 3 or less remaining HP. It's just a good way to, like, deal with Swarm decks, again. And it's a really big body. So, I mean, and it's just a special rare, not a super rare, because I got yelled at before, and honestly, I don't care. I mean, super rare versus special, like, not a ton of difference in my mind. I'm going to call it super rares, so whatever. I'm probably going to keep calling it super rares, but this super rare is really powerful in my mind, if you can get to it, because, I mean, 8-resource 6/8 restore 2, that's not the worst body, and you get to kill a ton of stuff too. Not, like, bad. Not that bad at all. If it was, like, deal 3 damage to each non-Sith unit with 3 or less remaining HP, or just deal 3 damage to each non-Sith unit, I feel like that would be better, but whatever. Then there is Kylo Ren's Lightsaber, a 2-resource 1/3 upgrade that says attached to a non-vehicle unit, and if the attached unit is a Force unit, it gains this unit can't be exhausted by enemy card abilities. I mean, this card's great for Kylo Ren, if the deck is actually good at all, but, I mean, what are you going to do? The card seems fine. Not, like, insane, but it seems fine. But then there's Drain Essence. You get to deal 2 damage to a unit, then the force is with you. So that seems really good. It's a really good common. It's a really good way to just suck out some of your opponent's like unit's essence, and you get to the force. So it's just like there's a lot of good things going on with this card. And I mean, honestly, for like new Star Wars stuff, because it's got new Star Wars art, it seems like a good card, and it's a card that I do like a lot. This card does seem really interesting to me. But then there is always 2. It says choose 2 friendly, unique Sith units. Then, if you do, you give 2 shields tokens and 2 experience tokens to each of those units. Then you defeat all other friendly units. So, you basically get to buff some of your dudes and then make it really hard for those dudes to die. And then you kill everything else. So, I don't know if this card is great, but it seems fine. Seems fine. It seems really good in Kylo Ren, honestly. Just like, hey, let's give this Sentinel thing 2 shield tokens, 2 experience tokens. Like, that seems really good to me in my mind. In Kylo. Just play, like, something like Kylo's lightsaber. And then play always 2. And then maybe, like, one resource upgrade or something like that. That, like, gives it restore. Maybe that 1 resource double Cunning. Or double... God dang it. Double Vigilance. If you play, like, a double Vigilance Kylo. If you play that double Vigilance upgrade from, like, set 1 that gives restore 2. Like, put all that on Kylo. That seems pretty good to me. That does seem pretty good to me. It just basically locks down the ground arena for the rest of the game. And makes Kylo like a really good way to both beat the opponent down and restore some of the damage that your opponents might be dealing to you. On the other side of the arena, the space arena. So I don't know. Then there is the Tragedy of Plagueis. It's a 5 resource event that says choose a friendly unit. For this phase, it can't be defeated by having no remaining HP. Then an opponent chooses a unit they control and defeats that unit. It's basically an overpowered version of Power of the Dark Side, but it costs you more resources. So I don't know how much better or worse this card is because of that. But it seems like a fine card. It seems like it could be good in, what's the name of the deck? Kylo. But outside of that, meh. It seems meh. But then, getting into Cunning, or Vigilance, Heroism, I got Lothwolf, a 2 resource 3/3 Sentinel that says this unit can attack. This card is great in Kanan. I love this card in Kanan. It seems super cool in Kanan. But I don't know. It's outside of Kanan, this card, I mean, it's good in Limited. I think this card will be really good in Limited. But it still seems like a decently powerful card, either way. But especially good in Kanan. But then there's Yaddle, a 2 resource 2/4 restore 1 body, which is an absolutely dumb rare that says on attack each other friendly Jedi unit gains restore 1 for the phase. This card is overstated and then some. This card's really good on my mind. I don't know if it's gonna be played, like what decks it'll be played in. Maybe in like Kit Fisto blue deck. Honestly, it could be really good in a Kit Fisto blue deck that just wants to get the force all the time with that Vigilance base. This card would be great in that deck, actually. But yeah, really dumb card. Really, really dumb card in a Jedi deck. But then there's Ezra Bridger, the first Spectre unit of many, question mark, because I haven't looked at the set too much. I've been busy with other things. But it's a 3 resource 3/5. Okay, great start. That on attack says give an experience token to another creature or Spectre unit. Wonderful, amazing, love it. I want more. Ezra Bridger here seems like a really, 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 really powerful card. Because it's just like, hey, I'm going to get down a good static body and hand out experience tokens every single time I'm attacking in a Cunning deck. So, really good. And there are a lot of creatures in this set, too. So, I feel like even outside of, like, Cunning in Limited, this Ezra deck will be really powerful. Or this Ezra card will be really powerful. But then there is T6 Shuttle 1974. 3 resource, 3/4 space unit that says when this unit is attacked, before damage is dealt, you may give an experience token to this unit. So if you give it Sentinel, it could be really good. Like in Ahsoka, could be really good. And basically turn it into a 4/5 with Sentinel. So that could be really good. But outside of like Ahsoka, I just don't see this card being that necessarily good. But Then there is Itinerant Warrior. Yep, said that right. It's a 4 resource, 4/4 shielded. Okay, really good start. When played, you may use the Force and then heal 3 damage from your base. Really good. This card seems really good to me because, I mean, it's a 4 resource, 4/4 shielded body. That is nothing to scoff at. Like, if it had 1 more health, great. That's kind of like 4 resource, 4/5. Like, that's a decently statted. Like, you'd want it maybe be like a 4 resource, 6/6, or 4 resource, like a 4/6 maybe. But like a 4 resource, 4/4 shielded is nothing to scoff at. And then it can also heal 3 from your base if you use the Force. Like, what? That seems really good to me. Then there is Jedi Guardian. It's a Legends card. It's a 5 resource, 4/8 that while it's defending, it gets +2 power. So, cool. Could be good in Ahsoka. Like a 5 resource, 4/8 when defending 6/8. I mean, that's like not a bad card by any means. So that's cool. But, yeah. Then there's Plo Koon, a 6 resource, 6/8 that while the Force is with you, this unit gains grit. This card is big and mean and potentially really freaking scary. It could be just like a really big body. Like this card could be really good in Ahsoka later for the game. Kind of like that last card, but better because it's like, oh yeah, sure. It gets +2 power every time it defends, but the first time that this thing is attacked, permitting that you have the Force, every time it's attacked after, so long as it has Sentinel from Ahsoka's effect, grit's, giving this thing power, and it's also good offensively as, like, a good way to help beat down on the opponent. So it's just like, I don't know, seems like a good card in Ahsoka. But then there is Jedi Holocron. A 1 resource, 1/1 upgrade that says attached to a Force unit, and the attached unit gains an on attack of healing 3 from another unit. I don't know how good this is necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily insane. Most upgrades, honestly, in my opinion, aren't that good unless they're like, they do a lot of stuff, and are like usually in aggressive decks. But this isn't like a card that would necessarily go in an aggressive deck, so I just don't think it's very good, is what I'm trying to say here. Then there's Jedi Trials, another upgrade. It's a 1 resource upgrade that gives a 0/0 buff. You gotta attach it to a Force unit, and it gains an on attack of giving an experience token to a unit. And while the attached to this unit, and while the attached unit has 4 or more upgrades on it, it gains the Jedi trait. This card sucks. It's like, it's a rare that gives experience tokens to the thing that you put it on every single time that you attack with it. I mean, it seems fine, but it's just 1 experience token every turn to 1 single unit. And it's got to be a Force unit, and I don't know. It just seems, it hasn't seemed great to me. It feels like your leader giving experience tokens out every single turn. I think that's better. This is just worse, and I mean, fine, but not insane by any means whatsoever. Then there is Heirloom Lightsaber, a 2 resource upgrade that gives a 2/2 buff. You gotta attach it to a non-vehicle unit. And if the attached unit is a Force unit, it gains Restore 1. So you can give a basically 2 resource, almost 3/2 upgrade. Because, restoring it, like, you're not dealing more damage to the opponent, but you're kind of like, you're getting more value in general out of the attack because you're dealing damage 2 additional than you would normally be dealing, and you'd be healing 1 on the back end, at least. If the thing has, like, restore 1 or 2 or whatever itself that you're putting it on. So, Heirloom Lightsaber seems like it could be a powerful card. Maybe. Because it's both good aggressively, and it can help you kind of like... I'm a big Restore guy. I'm a big fan of Restore guy, because I think that is a great way to help you win races in Star Wars. Like, if your stuff's a little bit understated power-wise compared to your opponents, but it has Restore, it could be a really good way to make you have the ability to race without it looking like you do. So, I don't know. Then there is Calm in the Storm. 2 resource event that says exhaust a friendly unit. If you do, you give an experience token and a shield token and 2 experience tokens to it. I don't know how great this card is. It seems powerful, but I don't know what deck it would go in. Maybe like the old Kenobi from set 3 could want this card. Like, just exhaust the Obi-Wan leader itself, and then give 2 experience tokens to it and a shield token to it. Make it way harder to kill. So, maybe that's what you do, but I don't know. But then, getting into Vigilance, I got Doom, a 4-resource double Vigilance, 2/7, that says, when the regroup phase starts, you give an experience token to each other friendly non-vehicle unit. So that's just like, whoa, what the heck? It's just like buffing the whole board at the end of every single turn. I mean, honestly, in Kanan, for 6 resources, I don't think this card's bad. I mean, it's a 2/7 for 6, which is like, oh my god. That's not great, but it's giving experience tokens to everything at the end of every turn. I mean, that's insane to me. And it's a creature, so you can give experience tokens to it. So it's just like, I don't know, seems like it could do like a lot of work. And it could probably do work in other decks. I don't know what decks, but it seems like it could. Because I want this card to be good because it seems really cool. It's like a good 2 of in some decks, certain decks. But then there is Size Matters Not. That was the word. What was that? Boy, scream at me in the comments down below for that. Unsubscribe. No, I'm joking. But, I mean, that was not a good Yoda impression. But it's a 3-resource upgrade, double Vigilance as well. Gives a 0/0 buff. But if you control a Force unit, this upgrade costs 1 less to play. But notably, the attached unit, basically its base power and base health are both 5 from here on. So, the thing is minimum of 5/5. If it has experience tokens on it or other upgrades on it, then it's a 5/5 and then some. So, I mean, seems like it could be good. Maybe. It's like a 5-resource 5/5 sort of unit, but you got to put it on another unit. And if you have a Force unit, then it's a 4-resource 5/5 because, you know, most decks aren't going to be double Vigilance because double Vigilance just doesn't seem like a great combination of aspects. But, I don't know. It seems like Size Matters Not. Seems like it could be fine, maybe? I don't really know. I don't know what deck this would go in, but it seems really cool. But then there's Owen Lars, a 1-resource 0/3 Restore 2 that when defeated, you get to look at the top 5 of your deck. For a Force unit, reveal it, and draw it. I mean, it doesn't seem that good to me, but, I mean, well, no, it actually seems fine. It restores, it gets Force units, like in Limited, I mean, this card seems good. Outside of Limited, this card is not good, but in Limited, I think this card is really good. But then there is Guardian of the Wills. Yay, a reprint. I'm not talking about it, because I made that in the last video, or in a previous video. I don't talk about reprints. But then there's Night Sister Warrior, 2-resource 2/2. That says when defeated, draw a card. Good in the Night Sister deck. I don't know how good it is outside of that. I mean, it could be good in Limited, but I don't know how good in Limited that would necessarily be, but yeah. Then there's Padawan Starfighter, another reprint. Not talking about it. Then there is Secretive Sage, a 2-resource, 2/2 shielded. I mean, hey. More shielded for, what's the deck called? Gar Saxon. More shields. More shielded stuff. Seems good to me. It seems good to me. Outside of that, it's a good limited card, honestly. And it's a force unit, so it can get some extra value that way, but still. But then there's Axe Woves, a 3-resource 2/2 shielded that while, this unit just gets +1/+1 for each upgrade on him. So, that's fair. It's just like, what? Yeah, it just gets really big, maybe potentially really fast. So, it's just like, it's a little bit understated, but it's still pretty powerful, in my opinion. So, I don't know. Could be good in the right deck. Then there is Ogdo... What? Ogdo-Bogdo. Ogdo-Bogdo. A 3-resource 5/5 creature that says this unit can't attack unless it's damaged, and when this unit attacks and defeats a unit, you heal 2 damage from this unit. I mean, I don't know what deck this is good in. I imagine there's people out there who have already done it. In fact, I know there's people out there who have already done stuff with this card. I don't know what you do to make this card good, but I mean, if you make it work, a 3-resource 5/5? That's just a little bit overstated. So, who knows? But then there is Tauntaun, a 3-resource 3/3 creature that says when defeated, you may give a shield token to a damaged non-vehicle unit. Good in draft. Outside draft, it's not that good. It's kind of shit, honestly, outside draft. The body is not big enough. Like, if it was a 3-resource 3/4 that did that, I think it would be better. I still don't think it would see play, but it would definitely be better. But, eh. Then there is Watto, a 3-resource 1/6 that says on attack an opponent either says, I get to give, you, the person who controls Watto, gets to give an experience token to a friendly unit, or you get to draw a card. So, that seems good. I mean, just like a good way to just get a little extra bit of value every single turn off of this card. Doesn't seem like the end of the world. It seems like a decent, powerful-ish card in Limited. Outside of Limited, well... No, I still don't think it'll see play outside of Limited. But then, I got Awakened Spectres, a 4-resource 4/5. The card is fine. It's not insane. It's not great. It's just fine. It's draft card. It's draft chaff. Then there's Cheer It. 4-resource 3/5 Sentinel that says when this unit is attacked, you may use the Force. Before damage is dealt, you may use the Force. And then if you do, the attacker gets -2 power for the attack. So, that seems good to me. It's just like, I don't know, seems like a good way to make stuff a little bit smaller when it's attacking a Cheer It. But the problem is you gotta use the Force to do it. So, I think a 4-resource 3/5 Sentinel that just had that ability would be a lot better. And honestly, I don't think it would necessarily be that overpowered. But leave a comment down below and tell me your thoughts. But then there is Luthen Rail. Yeah. I said that, right? It's a 4-resource 4/5 that on attack, you get to search the top 5 cards of your deck for an item, upgrade, reveal it, and draw it. It's very narrow and very specific. So, I like Luthen a lot, and I love the Andor show, but I don't think the card's necessarily that good. Then there's Graceful Purrgil, 5-resource 2/7 Sentinel. Seems pretty good to me. I mean, for Limited, it seems pretty good to me. Outside of Limited, it's just... It's draft. It's good draft chaff, but it is draft chaff. Then there is Anakin Skywalker, 6-resource 5/7 that one played if there is a Heroism unit in your discard pile, you may give a unit -3/3 for the phase, and then you do the same thing, but for Villainy. So you can give a -6/-6 debuff to a unit, and it's a 6 resource 5/7. Like, what? So if you play Vigilance Anakin, I mean, this card seems like an automatic include. So, yeah, really good. But then there is Grappling Guardian, a 7 resource 3/9 creature that says when played, you may defeat a space unit with 6 or less remaining HP. I mean, it's just like, what? I wish it had more power, but it seems like a decent card. I don't know if it's going to be played in like Kanan at all, but it seems like a decent card nonetheless. Then there's Priestesses of the Force, a 7 resource 6/8 that when played you may use the Force, and then if you do, give a shield token to each of up to 5 units. That is really dumb, because it's just like, shield token to, like, a shield token is powerful. If you can give a shield token of 5 units, and if some of those already have shield tokens on them, well, that just makes it even better for you, because something with 2 shields is way more powerful than something with 1 shield. Let's just put it that way. But yeah. Then there is Mythosaur. I love this card's art. It is so sick. It's a 9 resource 10/10 shielded legendary that says friendly upgrade units can't be exhausted or returned to hand by enemy card abilities, and friendly leaders gain the Mandalorian trait. I don't know what deck this is going to be going in, but I really hope it goes in something, because I love this card. It looks so sick. But yeah. Then there is Bolstered Endurance, 1 resource 1/3 upgrade that you gotta attach to a Force unit. It's Draft Chaff. Then there is Cure Wounds, sorry. It's a Legends card. It's a 1 resource event that says use the Force, and if you do, you heal 6 damage from a unit. So that seems good. I don't know how good that necessarily is, but I mean, it seems like a good way to just heal a ton of damage from something all at once if you need it. But mostly I think it's Draft Chaff. Then there is Sorasu Stance, a 1 resource event that says play a Force unit from your hand and give a shield token to it. Paying its cost, of course, but still. That is strong to me, because it's just like, I mean, I would equate a shield token to 1 resource, and you basically get to give something shielded for 1 extra resource. So, it's got to be a Force unit, unfortunately, but, I mean, that's still powerful, in my opinion. But then there is Crushing Blow, a 3 resource event that says defeat a non-leader unit that costs 2 or less. This card, to me, is really powerful, because, I mean, an opponent plays a turn 1 thing, goes to turn 2, you kill that thing with a Crushing Blow, and the opponent just feels bad. Like, there's not a lot else to it. And the thing is, pilot decks, such as maybe a Sabine, not a full-on pilot deck, but if they put a pilot that's not Chewbacca on their turn 2 play, or on their turn 1 play that costs 2 resources, that, like a Biggs or a Luke, Crushing Blow just says, and that's dead now. So that's pretty good for you. I think it's a really decent card. It's not the most insane card, but it's decent. But then there's Whirlwind of Power, a 3 resource event that says give a unit -2/-2 for the phase, and if you control a Force unit, you give it -3/-3 instead. The card's Draft Chaff. It's not that good. I don't think it is. And, I mean, it's a worse make-an opening, in my honest opinion, but it might be good in the right deck. Honestly, it probably is good in the right deck, but I don't know. The card just doesn't seem that good to me. Then lastly, there's Shatterpoint for Vigilance. Lastly, there's Shatterpoint, an event that says choose 1, defeat a non-leader unit that with 3 or less remaining HP, or you can use the Force, and if you do, you just defeat a non-leader unit. So it's kind of like a slightly worse takedown, but it has the ability to be a better Vanquish. So, I mean, it's like, okay, it's very flexible. If it said 4 less remaining HP, I think this card would be absolutely cracked and played in a ton of decks. But now it's only going to be played decks that really care about the Force, and, like, it's narrow, but in the right deck, it's really good. Like, really, really, really good. So, there's that. But then there is Command. The first command card being Exegol Patroller, a 2-resource 3/1 Overwhelm. This card, to me, is really good. Because, 2-resource 3/2s in Villainy, there is not any unless you play a Kylo's TIE Silencer. Or the way worse, Mercenary Gunship. This gives you another option. In the right deck, this gives you another option, and I really like that about this card. Outside of that, I'm sorry for Aggression that really wants a card like this, but you still don't have one yet. But then there is sorry, I needed to take a sip of my drink. I've been talking for too long. Sith Legionnaire, a 2-resource 2/2 2/2 that says while you control another Villainy unit, this unit gets +2 power. So it can be a 2-resource 4/2, which is pretty powerful. Like power-wise, like statted, it's a pretty powerfully statted card for power, whatever I'm trying to say, because I cannot freaking talk. But yeah, seems really powerful. It's a Legends card, which is also cool. It's like, I don't see a lot of Legends stuff. I haven't looked at it enough, and this is a really cool card. But then there is Villainy, a 2-resource 2/4 that when played and on attack, you may defeat an experience token on a friendly unit, and if you do, you get to give an experience token to another friendly unit. Or, sorry, to a friendly unit. Doesn't have to be to another. I don't know why you would put it on the same unit, but you can if you want. It seems fine. It doesn't seem insane, but it seems fine. Then there's Captain Enoch, a 3-resource 1/5 that when this unit, this unit just gets +1 power for each trooper unit in your discard pile. Like, what? Seems powerful to me. If you have a ton of troopers in your graveyard. But I don't see a deck that really... I wish that graveyard decks were a thing in Star Wars Unlimited because I really like graveyard decks, but this card just isn't that good. It just isn't, like, realistically that good. But then there is Knight of Ren, a 3-resource 4/4. It's a really good card in Draft. Outside Draft, I don't know how much play this card's going to see, but it seems really powerful because it is, like, aggressively really statted. But then there is Praetorian Guard, a 3-resource 2/5 that says while you control a unit with 4 or more power, this unit gets Sentinel. Turn 2 Sentinel is really good, and this can be turn 2 Sentinel, which makes it really good. But then there is Drengir Spawn, a 4-resource 3/3 Overwhelm that says when this unit attacks and defeats a unit, you get to give an experience token to this unit equal to this unit. What am I saying? When this unit attacks and defeats a unit, you get to give an experience token, a number of experience tokens to this unit equal to the defeated unit's cost. Wow, I could not talk. But yeah, this card can get really big, really quickly, and that's really cool. And it has Overwhelm, so that can also be really powerful. But, how good is it? I honestly have no idea. I think it could be really powerful, but it does, like, off of face value, it doesn't seem insane, but I could definitely see it having a lot of potential. But then there's Eighth Brother, a 6-resource 5/7 Ambush, which, what the heck? It's very strong there. And then when you play another unit, you may use the Force, and if you do, give a unit +2/+2 for the face. So it gets to buff stuff, and it's a 6-resource 5/7 Ambush. So it's a big ol' ambusher that can buff stuff, including itself? Like, what? Yeah, seems really strong. But then there is Eye of Scion. A 6 resource 4/7 hidden ambush overwhelm restore 1. It's just got line after line after line of keywords. It's just keyword, 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 keyword. It's great in what's her name? What's her face? Morgan Elsbeth. But outside of that, I just don't see this card seeing a lot of play. Which sucks, but what are you going to do? Sorry, I have to keep drinking. Then there is Supremacy. Excuse me. 12 resource 12/12 ambush, which, woof. That is a big, big boy. That says other friendly units, vehicle units, get +6. +6. Woof. This card is insane in the right deck if it costed way less. If it was like a 0 resource, like 0/1, that at the end of the phase destroyed itself, like banished itself, even though that doesn't exist in Star Wars, and only gave like a +4/+4 buff, it would be way more playable. But like I don't really know how you could make this card playable and not overpowered at the same time. But Supremacy, it's just not that good of a card. It's really not. In Piet, like as a one of, maybe. But even then, it still just is not like that good. Because Piet would much rather have Annihilator as like a one of in like the sideboard. And Supremacy is not going to take that card's place. So, sorry, but it's just probably never going to see play. So, yeah. Then there is Inquisitor's Lightsaber, a 2 resource 1/3 upgrade that attaches to a non-vehicle unit. It says the attached unit gains, while attacking a force unit, it gets +2 power. This unit gets +2 power. So it sort of is like a 2 resource 3/3 upgrade if it's attacking the right thing. Otherwise, it just sucks. This card's draft chaff. Then there's Craving Power, 5 resource 2/2 upgrade that says attached to a friendly unit. And when played, you deal damage to an enemy unit equal to the attached unit's power. I mean, yeah, sure. It's fine. It's whatever. It's not the end of the world, like, insane, but it's not a great rare by any means. So it's like, it's niche. It's definitely very niche and narrow. But then there is Point Rain Reclaimer. 1 resource 1/2 that says when played, if you control a Jedi unit, you may give an experience token to this unit. I mean, yeah, that seems fine. It's not insane, but it's mostly draft chaff, I would say. If it was like a 1 resource, like some kind of force unit of something, like a Padawan of some kind, like a 1 resource 1/2 Padawan that says, when played, if you control another Jedi unit, then you get to give an experience to a thing. I think it would be a little bit better for, like, drafting this set, but because of that, it's like, it's still fine in draft, but it's still draft chaff. It's just worse draft chaff. But then there is, speaking of Padawans, Gungi, a 2 resource 2/5. Like, what? 2/5? Yeah, that's a big butt. If it had 3 power and 4 health, this card would see play in so many decks. A 2 resource 3/4 would see play in so many decks. But would it? I don't know. I wish it would. I would like to say it would. But yeah, Gungi, really good in draft. Like, it is really good in draft. Outside of draft, in the right deck, maybe. But because of that, it probably won't, unfortunately. So, yeah. Then there's Jedi Consular, a 2 resource 1/4 that says, as an action, you can exhaust, use the Force, and play a unit from your hand, and it costs 2 less. It seems fine. It's not insane, but like a way to play stuff for cheaper is always a good thing. And I think this card could be really good. And it is a cheap way to use the Force, which in something like, I don't know, Var Chris maybe, seems like it could be good. But then there's Lore Santeca, a 2-resource 3/2 that says when defeated, you may give an experience token to a unique unit. Meh. It's meh. It's not insane. It's not great. It's just meh. Then there's Obi-Wan Kenobi, a super rare special, but it's a super rare. A 3-resource 3/5 that says when you play a Force unit, this unit gets Sentinel for the phase. So, yeah, a 3-resource 3/5. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know if this card's that good. It's fine. The fact that it can give itself Sentinel, like, makes it good. I think that, I don't know. I don't know how to judge this card because I already judged it before, and I don't really know what else to say. So, go watch that video if you want to know. I'll leave a link to it down below. But then there's Eth Koth, a 4-resource 5/4 that says when defeated, you may use the Force. If you do, put this card into play as a resource. So, jeez. I mean, it's a decently statted body that can all of a sudden just say, hey, let's put it into the resource pile. So, I mean, that seems good. I feel like for that reason, it could be really good in a Var Chris, maybe. But outside of that, probably not, no. Then there is Leia Organa. Really cool art. Way cooler than whatever was shown in the movie. That whole shit show. But it's a 5-resource 5/5 legendary that says while this unit is in the space arena, she can't ready and gains an action of using the Force. Move this unit to the ground arena and give each friendly Heroism unit +2/+2 for the phase. And it is a space unit. So, I mean, it's just like, move everything over and just buff it all to the moon. That seems really good to me, in my opinion. But, yeah. Leia seems like a decent card. Then there is Paladin Training Corvette. Well, I said decent. This card's a good card. Leia Organa, this card is a good card. Because it is an Anthem, it is a good card. But then there's Paladin Training Corvette, a 5-resource 3/5 that says when played, you may give an experience token to each of up to 3 Force units. I mean, it's just so understated, I just don't see it being very playable. So, I'm just going to say Draft Chaff. Then, Kalarin Beck. Excuse me. 7-resource 7/7 when played, you get to search the top 7 on your deck for a unit, reveal it, play it, and it costs 3 less. I mean, I don't think this card's very good. I think it's just mostly Draft Chaff. So let's just mark it off as Draft Chaff. It's just too expensive, and you're not going to see it pretty much ever. Unlike Yoda, an 8-resource 5/9 and says when played, you may use the Force. If you do, you heal 5 damage from your base. And when you use the Force, you may deal damage to a unit equal to twice the number of units you control. This card just seems really powerful, and I feel like it could be played. I don't know if it will. I want it to. I want it to be in a ton of decks. But it seems really good. It seems really, really, really good. But then there's Yoda's Lightsaber, a 2-resource 3/1 that says attached to a non-vehicle unit. When played, you may use the Force. On if you do, you heal 3 damage from your base. That seems good to me. You get to heal damage. You get to give buffs to things. It just all around seems like a fairly solid card. But then there is Following the Path, a 1-resource event that says search the top 8 of your deck for 2 Force units, reveal them, and put them on top of your deck in any order. If you drew them, this card would be great. But because it doesn't do that, I would just say that this card is draft chaff. Then there is Luminous Beams. 6 resource event that says put up to 3 force units from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck in a random order. Then give that many units +4/+4 for the phase. I mean, it's not great. It's not insane. For 6 resources, it gives a 4/4 buff to 3 units, essentially. So, I don't know if that's necessarily that powerful. I mean, it can be, but too much setup. Too much setup. But then, I got, going into just regular old command, Opal Rancisis. I don't know how to say that name. It's a 3 resource double command unit, ground unit, that says, it's a 3/5, says this unit gets ambush while another friendly unit has ambush, and the same is true for literally every other thing. Every other keyword in the game. And this unit gets raid 2, while another friendly unit has raid, and the same is true for restore. So, seems really good, seems really powerful, and I would like to say it is. It'll probably be great in Morgan Elsbeth. Outside of that, no. Well, no, it could see play outside of that. It could. I don't know what deck. Maybe, like, Boba Fett. The one from set 2, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that it's double command makes it way worse, but yeah, I don't know. Then there is Acclimator? Yeah, Acclimator Assault Ship. A 7 resource double command 5/8 that says on attack, you may give another unit +5/+5 for the phase. This card sucks. It's not even draft chaff. You can't even play it in draft because it's double command. So it's going to cost 9 resources. You're never going to see this card ever anywhere in the history of the game. So, yay. But then there's Village Tender, a 1 resource 1/3 hidden restore 1. Yeah. The card's very meh. It's draft chaff. Then there is Kala Keeley, or Mala Keeley, 2 resource 1/4 that says the first creature unit you play each phase costs 1 less, and if a creature unit would deal damage to a friendly unit, you prevent that damage. So, I mean, no, this card just isn't good. I would say this card is draft chaff, but it's a rare, so this card just sucks. This card's garbage. So, then there's Minoc, 2 resource 2/3 overwhelm in space. Seems fine. If it was a 3/2, that'd be great. It's not though, for whatever reason. So, yeah, it just is fine. Then there is Hive Defense Wing, a 3 resource 2/4 restore 1. No, this card is draft chaff. Realistically, the card's fine, but it's draft chaff. Maz Kanata, 3 resource 3/4 1 plate. You may attack with a force unit. It gets +2 power for the attack. It's basically a fleet lieutenant, but for force units. Seems powerful in the force deck. But outside of that, it's very not great. Then there's Outer Rim Mystic, a 3 resource 2/6 that just is a 2/6. It's draft chaff. Then there is Jedi Temple Guards, a 4 resource 2/4 ambush restore 2. The card is very powerful in the right deck. It's really good in draft, I think, but outside of that, it just is very not great. Then there is Kadu, a 4 resource 4/4 1 plate. You may give another friendly unit overwhelm for the phase. Nothing insane. I would just say draft chaff. Then there is Dagonian Master, 5 resource 5/5 that 1 plate when defeated. You may use the force, and then if you do search the top 5 cards of your deck for a force unit, reveal it and draw it. The card is fine. I would say it's good in draft, and pretty much nowhere else. So draft chaff. And then Relic Scavenger, a 5 resource, 4/6, restore 2. The card is fine, but it is just draft chaff. Then there is Sipho DS. I've already covered this card, so I'm not going to cover it again because there's so much text. Then there is Tatek. I don't know how to say this card's name. It's basically a Force Wielder Hunter, from what I've been told. It just hunts down Force users or Jedi or something like that. It's a 5 resource 5/5 that says while an opponent controls a Force unit, this unit gets ambush. So it just ambushes them. Ambushes in the Force units. But it seems like a fine card. Sorry, drinking again. Drinking non-alcoholic drink. Again, that sounded very bad. Non-alcohol. But then there is Hyperspace Wayfarer. 6 resource 4/10 space unit. Seems pretty powerful. Not like insane. But it seems like a good draft card. Then there is Trident Assault Ship, a 6 resource 6/6 overwhelm. That says it doesn't say anything else. I don't know why I thought it said anything else. It's just draft chaff. Then there is the Purrgil King, an 8 resource 4/12 restore 4, which is gigantic. Giant creature. It says when played, draw cards for each friendly unit with 7 or more remaining HP. So you get to draw a card no matter what, and it's a 8 resource 4/12 restore 4. I mean, that seems really good, in my opinion. In like a Purrgil deck. It's good in draft for like the Purrgil King decks. And then there's Pilio Star Compass. 2 resource 1/1 upgrade that attaches to a non-vehicle unit, and when played you get to search the top 3 of your deck for a unit, reveal it, and draw it. It's draft chaff. The card sucks, realistically. Then there's Directed by the Force, a 1 resource event that says the Force is with you, then you play a unit from your hand, paying its cost. It's kind of like the card for for Vigilance, but this time you get the Force instead, which seems decent. I feel like it's a fine card. It's not an insane card, but it's fine. Nimon Strike is up next. 1 resource event that says attack with a Force unit, even if it's exhausted, it gets +1 power and it can't attack bases for the attack. Then there is the Burden of Masters, a 1 resource event that says put a Force unit from your discard pile on the bottom of the owner's deck. On the bottom of your deck. And then if you do, you may play a unit from your hand and give 2 experience tokens to it. This card's terrible. I don't know why they make rares so niche in this game, but they just really do. But then there's Overpower, a 3 resource event that gives a 3/3 buff and overwhelm for the phase to a unit, which that seems fine. It's not insanely good, but it seems fine. I don't know why this kind of card wasn't in Twilight, because it's got Captain Rex and Clone Wars art on it, but this set doesn't have to do with clones. It has to do with Jedi and the Force and Sith and that kind of whatnot and Legends, and this set doesn't have... It shouldn't have clones in it, really, but whatever. Then there is Rampage, a 3 resource event that says give each friendly creature unit +2/+2 for the phase. So, I mean, that seems fine. It doesn't seem insane, but it seems fine. Then there is Protect the Pod, a 4 resource event that says a friendly non-vehicle unit deals damage equal to its remaining HP to an enemy unit. And then getting into aggression at long last. But getting into aggression, like I was just saying, Acolyte of the Beyond. 2 resource 2/3 on attack when defeated, the Force is with you. I mean, in aggression, that's wonderful. Outside of that, I mean, well, I don't really... This would be great in Kit Fisto if it was Heroism, because I imagine Jedi Tribal, again, would really want a lot of this kind of effect. But, I don't know, seems decent. But then there's HK47, 2 resource 2/4. When an enemy unit is defeated, you deal 1 damage to the unit's to its controller's base. So great in Revan, in like a Revan aggression deck. Outside of that, I mean, it's a good card. I don't know how good necessarily, but it does seem like a really, really powerful legendary. Like a really, really, really powerful legendary. But then, aggression, villainy. I got a card for you, and you're gonna like it. It's Strike Ship, 2 resource 0/3, raid 3, overwhelm. This card is really good. Like, really, really good. I mean, it's basically a 3/3. Sure, it only has 0 power, but I mean, it's a really good card, is what I'm trying to say. It's like a really, really, really good card. Like, there's a lot of stuff for the Grand Inquisitor deck that I'm really starting to look at and be like, ooh, hoo. Seems really good. But getting into the next thing, I got Grand Inquisitor. 3 resource, 3/4, hidden, raid 1. Other friendly Inquisitor units gain hidden. So, it's just like, oh, really good. It's like really, really good. It's not. Well, I don't know. It's a fine card. It's not, it's narrow, and it's a legendary that's narrow. I don't really know what to think about these kind of legendaries. They're just not good. They're narrow, and they're just, in general, not good. Then there's Purge Trooper, a 3 resource 4/2 that when played, you may deal 2 damage to a force unit. I mean, simple, but it's good and limited. Outside of that, it's just draft chaff. Heavy Missile Gunship, though, is a 4 resource 4/3 that, as an action, can exhaust and deal 2 damage to a ground unit. Draft chaff, baby! Then there's Scythe, a 4 resource 3/5 that on attack you may give another friendly Inquisitor unit plus 2 power for the face. It's fine. It's not insane, but it's fine. Then Thralls of the Coven, a 5 resource 3/7 raid 3. The card is just really big and potentially really powerful. It's great in Grand Inquisitor. The one from set 1, I mean. Like the card I was talking about earlier. This wonderful beauty, Strike Ship. But yeah, Thralls of the Coven is a really, really powerful looking card. But then, I get Savage Oppress. 6 resource 9/6 overwhelm. That when played when defeated, you may use the force. And if you do, you deal 9 damage to your base. If you don't, you deal 9 damage to your base. So, it's a big body, but it has some serious downsides. And then there is Sith Holocron, a 1 resource 1/1 upgrade that says attached to a force unit, and then the attached unit gets an on attack of saying you may deal 2 damage to a friendly unit, and if you do, this unit gets plus 2 power for the attack. Really powerful and strong looking. Not really. It's terrible. It's garbage. It's not a good card. But then there's Battle Fury, a 2 resource 3/3 upgrade that says the attached unit gets an on attack and discarding a card from your hand. It's actually probably really good in Kylo. Outside of Kylo, on the other hand, not good. Darth Maul's lightsaber, I already covered it. Go check that video out in the comments down below. But then there's Death Field, 4 resource event that says deal 2 damage to each non-vehicle enemy unit. And if you can control a force unit, you draw a card. I mean, that's pretty strong. That's pretty strong and powerful. So, great against Swarm decks. Absolutely wonderful against Swarm decks. Outside of that, I mean, it replaces it. I don't know. It seems like a pretty powerful card. In Revan especially, it seems like a really powerful card, potentially. But Then getting into Aggression and Heroism, I got Adigalia, a 2-resource 2/4 rare that says when an opponent plays an event, you deal 1 damage to that player's base. That card is so good. This card is great in Kit Fisto. Outside of Kit, I mean, I'll probably see play in quite a few decks in, like, sideboards, maybe. It's great against the right decks, especially against Cunning decks, because, you know, Cunning in events are like a match made in heaven. But Adigalia seems like a really, really strong-looking card. Then there is Attuned Fearnock, 2-resource 4/1 hidden. This card is insane and seems like an absolutely dumb, powerful card I was talking about earlier for Kanan. But yeah, really, really, really strong. Unlike Jedi Starfighter, a 2-resource 1/4 that on attack deals 1 damage to a space unit. I'm joking, this card's really good. In the right deck. It's fine in a Kit Fisto deck. Well, no, it's actually pretty good in a Kit Fisto deck. Outside of, like, a Jedi Matters deck, I don't know how powerful this card is going to be. Because it does have the Jedi trait. It's good in Limited for sure. But it'd be great in the last set, honestly. And this card wasn't in the last set. I don't recall. But, yeah, it's fine. Then there is Jedi Knight, a 3-resource 3/3 that one played. If you have the initiative, you deal 2 damage to an enemy ground unit. It's Draft Chaff. Then there is Kiadi Mundi, a 4-resource 4/4 that one played. You may use the Force, and if you do, you draw 2 cards. So that seems pretty good to me, in my opinion. Then there is Kit Fisto's Ether Sprite, a 5-resource 4/5 Saboteur that says one played you may defeat any number of upgrades on a unit. Really good against the right deck. I think it's a pretty solid sideboard card. Of course, it's rare, it's narrow, it's niche, and there's only one in a pack, so it's gotta be a card that only is good in sideboards. Don't know why you do this Fantasy Flight Games, but it ticks me off. But yeah, anyways. I almost burst a blood vessel there. Yeah, Kit Fisto's Ether Sprite. It's a card. For sideboards. Then there's Ray, 5-resource 5/5 that when you draw this card during an action phase, if you control a aggression leader or base, you may reveal that card from your hand, and if you do, you deal 2 damage to a unit and 2 damage to a base. So it's good in Ray. Nowhere else, probably. Then, no, I'm joking. But Mace Windu, 6-resource 6/6 overall, one played you may use the Force, and if you do, you deal 4 damage to a unit. Remember when I was talking about Kit Fisto, Jedi needing to, like, care about the Force? This is a Jedi that cares about the Force, and man, when it does, it's, like, really good. This card seems really strong, like, in the right deck. In Limited, this card is insane. Outside of Limited, this card is fine. On the right deck, the card's still pretty good, but it's not insane. But then there is Sin Dralig, an 8-resource 5/6 that says one played you may play a lightsaber upgrade from your hand for free onto this unit, and if you do, you ready him. I don't know why this is a legendary, because I have no idea who this guy is, but seems like a fine card. Seems like a pretty solid card, and it could do a decent amount of work. But that is the first half of the cards. And let's get into the second half with these last two. Aggression Heroism, Knight's Saber, 2-resource 3/2 buff that says you can only attach it to a Jedi non-vehicle unit. And Focus Determines Reality, a 2-resource event that says each friendly Force unit gets Raid 1 and Saboteur for the phase. Both of these are good in Jedi decks, which are all Force decks subsequently. But outside of that, they're meh. They're kind of meh cards. But starting things off, I got Paz Vizsla, a 5-resource 3/6 double aggression unit, ground unit that says it gets +2 power for each damage on him. So it basically gets super grit. It's like if it's got 5 damage on him, he's a 13/1, which for 5 resources, usually 7. That could be pretty good. Though, to be fair, double aggression is kind of the most common of the ones that you see played. Double aggression isn't like, yeah, I don't know. Paz Vizsla seems like a powerful card-ish in the right deck. Otherwise, the card is very narrow, again, and not that good. It's either really good or really bad. But then there's Witch of the Mist. 1 resource, 1/3 with Hidden. It's Draft Chaff. Then I got DRK1 Probe Droid. A 2 resource, 2/3. When played, you may defeat a non-unique upgrade. This card could be seen in some sideboards. Otherwise, it's just Draft Chaff. It's good Draft Chaff, though. Well, I think it could see play in the right sideboard. And I think it will. The card's actually pretty solid. But then, Infused Brawler. A 2 resource, 2/2. When played, you may use the Force. And then if you do, you give 2 experience tokens to this unit. And when this unit completes an attack, you defeat an experience token on it. So it's a 2 resource, 4/4 that slowly starts to shrink back down. So it's fine, but it's not like... It's not that good. It's good in draft, but it's not very good outside of draft. Draft Chaff. Cartel Interceptor is up next. A 3 resource, 2/3 with Raid 2. I mean, there isn't really a lot to say. The card's decent. It's not insane, but it's decent. Then there's Hyena Bomber, a 3 resource, 2/2. When played, if you control if you control another aggression unit, you may deal 2 damage to a ground unit. Seems solid in draft. And then there is Jedi in Hiding, 3 resource, 3/3 Hidden, which thematically super cool. And then also, I don't know why my brain's shutting down. When defeated, you may use the Force, and if you do, each opponent discards a card from their hand. So that seems very good. Discard stuff when it's defeated, and it's, I don't know. I'm trying to make up for it. It's Draft Chaff. It's just Draft Chaff. But then there is Marin, Alone with the Dead. 3 resource, I don't know, I think that's cool. But 3 resource, 2/5, on attack, you may discard a card from your hand, and if you do, you deal 2 damage to a unit, which is decent, I guess. But then there is Tukata, 3 resource, 4/2 Hidden, which is fine. Hunting Nexu, reprint, I'm not going to talk about it. Quinlan Voss, a 4 resource, 4/5. On attack, if it has 6 or more power, you may deal 2 damage to an enemy base. And then there is Asajj Ventress, a 5 resource, 5/6, that when played on attack, you may give another Force unit +2 power for the phase. So they're just a little match made in heaven. They're the Dark Disciple and the Harden of your heart. The hardening of your heart, or whatever. I'm trying to make it work, okay? And then Wampa is a reprint. Already talked about it. It's been reprinted like 15 freaking times, but yeah, whatever. Then there is Blockade Runner, a 5 resource, 4/4 Saboteur that when this unit deals combat damage to a base, you may give an experience token to this unit. So yeah, it's decent-ish. It's not like insane, but it's a fine card. Then there is Saisi 10, a 5 resource, 4/6. When played, if you have the initiative, deal 1 damage to each of up to 3 units. The card's narrow, and I think it's good in draft. Outside of draft, I just don't like it. Then there's Ravenous Rathar, a 6 resource, 8/5 creature, which is big boy. It's a big boy, but it's nothing insane. But then there is Invasion Control Ship, a 7 resource, 5/9, that says each friendly droid unit gets Raid 2. So that's cool. Then there's Bendu, an 8 resource, 10/10, that on attack deals 3 damage to each other unit. Which is, it deals damage to everything. It deals damage to a lot of stuff. It's a big card, and it's insane against Swarm decks. It is insane against Swarm decks. I think that the era of Boba Yellow, or sorry, not Boba, Vader Yellow is slowly fading off into the stars. But then there's Heavy Blaster Cannon, a 4 resource, 2/2 upgrade that attaches to a non-vehicle unit and says when played, you may deal 1 damage to a ground unit, then 1 damage to the same ground unit, then 1 damage to the same ground unit. So you get to deal 3 damage to a unit, but you get to do it separately, so I don't know. In the right deck, it's good. Outside of that said deck, it's not great. But then there is Sorceress Blast, a 1-resource event that says use the Force. If you do, you deal 3 damage to a unit. So it's kind of like a slightly overstated Daring Raid, but only for units. If it was 3 damage to anything, that would be great, because then you basically have a Lightning Strike, or a Lightning Bolt, or whatever. But outside of that, the card's fine. But then there is Unleash Rage, a 1-resource event that says use the Force. If you do, give a friendly unit +3 power for the phase. That is aggressive and then some, but it's nothing really that special. Then there's Artura Onslaught, whatever. A 2-resource event that says ready a Force unit with 4 or less power. Nothing special. Then there's Do or Do Not. There is no try. 2-resource event that says you may use the Force. If you do, you draw 2, and if you do not, you just draw 1. So, I mean, either 2 resources draws you 2, or 2 resources draws you 1. So if it replaces itself, that's not great. If it allows you to go up a card, then that's fine. But then there is Lightsaber Throw, a 2-resource event that says discard a lightsaber card from your hand. If you do, you deal 6 damage to a ground unit and draw a card. So you don't go down cards in hand, really, but you get to deal a ton of damage to something for 2 resources, which, that could be good. Then there is Time of Crisis, 4-resource event that just says each player chooses a unit they control and deal 3 damage to each unit not chosen this way. Against Swarm decks, this card's great. Outside of Swarm decks, this card sucks. So, it's just like, it's a rare that's good in sideboards. Who would have thought? Because that's what every rare seems to be, except for like 5. But yeah, whatever. Then there is Adept of Anger, a 1-resource 1/3 that as an action you can exhaust, use the Force, and then exhaust a unit. Seems decent. But then there is Aura Sin, a 2-resource 1/4 hidden raid 2. And I mean, that seems pretty good to me. I mean, it's like 2-resource, basically a 3/4 with hidden. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of very good things about this card. Then there is Deceptive Shade, a 2-resource 2/3 that when defeated says the next unit you play this phase gets ambushed for the phase. Sick art. I don't know how it's not Legends, because I do not remember this card anywhere. But it's like really freaking cool looking. It's creepy, but it's cool. But then there is Banking Clan Shuttle, a 3-resource 3/3 hidden. Draft. Then there's Nihil Marauder, a 3-resource 1/5 with raid 3. This card is really like scary because it's like a 3-resource 4/5. Like there's a lot of cards in this set that have raid that just like they seem really good to me. And it's just like it seems really strong and powerful. It makes like Grand Inquisitor, the old Grand Inquisitor, like seem like it could be really good and cunning now. So I'm really hoping, like, just like, hey, I'm hoping it works. Like, Raid Tribal. Like, yeah, essentially is what I'm hoping for. But then there's Shin Hati, a 3-resource 4/2 hidden shielded. And Balin's Skull, a 5-resource 5/5 hidden that when played you may use the Force. If you do, return a non-leader unit that costs 4 or less to the owner's hand, then play it for free. So basically, Shin Hati, Balin's Skull, match made in heaven, and they're like master and apprentice, and they work. But they're not insane. Balin's Skull isn't an insane card by any means, and Shin Hati, I think, is a little bit better because, I mean, it's a little bit harder to kill because of that shielded thing. But it's not that good of a card. Well, no, it's actually fairly good. Like, 7 Fleet Defender, a 3-resource 3/2 shielded is pretty good. This is a 3-resource 4/2 shielded, and it has hidden, so I actually think this card is actually pretty solid. Unlike Skull, which is hilarious to me. But then there's Second Sister, a 4-resource 3/6 that on attack you may discard 2 from your deck, and for each Force unit discarded this way, you ready a resource. Simple as that. It's just good. But then there is Markion Row. Really cool looking card. It's a 6 resource, 6/7 that says each friendly unit's raid is doubled. So it's an insane legendary. This has raid 6. This has raid 4. The card that I talked about on the last page has raid 6. So, I mean, this card, Markion Row, just seems absolutely insane to me. So, yeah, that's cool and fun. I really like this card. The card seems really good to me. But then there is Corrupted Saber, a 2 resource, 2/1 upgrade that says attached to a non-vehicle unit. If the attached unit is a force unit, it gains a non-attack of saying the defender gets -2 power for the attack. The card is very, very meh and draft chaff. Then there is As I Have Foreseen, a 1 resource event that says look at the top card of your deck. You may use the force, and if you do, you may play that card, and it costs 4 less. So you spend 1 resource, get 4. So yay! If you have command in your deck and you have that 1 base that says, hey, just as an action, get the force. On turn 1, you can potentially, like if you somehow just guess that there's a 5-drop on top of your deck, you can play a 5-drop on the first turn of the game. Like, what? That's insane to me. So, As I Have Foreseen, seems like it could be a pretty powerful card. Because, hey, Cunning Villainy doesn't need any more of those, right? Right. Then there's Liberated by Darkness. Speaking of Cunning Villainy cards that don't need any more power, Liberated by Darkness is a 5 resource event that says use the force. If you do, take control of a non-leader unit. And at the start of the regroup phase, the owner takes control of it again. What else do you want? The card's great. Like, the card's really good. It's just a better Commandeer. Sure, Commandeer bounces the thing back to the owner's hand. At least I'm pretty sure it does. But, I mean, this card does something pretty similar and yet almost as powerful, if not more so. But, yeah, Liberated by Darkness. It's a good card. But then getting into Cunning Heroism, I got Anakin Skywalker. I already talked about this card. And then I got BD1. This card, great, I would think, because this is Cal Kestis' little buddy. But yeah, Cal Kestis. I would think that this card's really good. But so BD1 is a 1 resource, 1/3 with hidden that says when played, you may choose another friendly unit. And while this unit is in play, the chosen unit gets +1 power and gains Saboteur. The card is pretty solid. I don't think it's insane, but, well, no, the card's good. I would say the card's good, because it has hidden, so the thing that you're giving the buff in Saboteur sticks around for at least 1 turn. So there is that. But then there is N1 Starfighter, a 2 resource, 3/2. Simple as that. Like, it's just a good old card. It's just a good card. Not draft chaff. But then there's Yunlane Padawan, a 2 resource, 2/3 that when played, the force is with you. Great card. Great card. It's great in limited, it's great everywhere. Every deck that this card can be played in that cares about getting the force, it's gonna run 3 copies of this card. Trust me when I say that. Then there is J-Type Nubian Starship, a 3 resource, 2/4 that when played draws a card, and when defeated, discards a card from your hand. It's a decent card. It's not anything insane or special, but it's a fine card. I wish it was a 3/4, but to be fair, that might be, well, I don't think it's overstated. Well, no, it's fine. Vernestra Row is up next, a 3 resource, 3/4 that when played, you may use the force, and if you do, you ready this unit. Seems pretty good. I think this is a really good card in Chris, Avar Chris, because you can just play this, and then use the force, ready it, and then you can play more things like this, and I don't know, it just seems like a decent card. It doesn't seem like anything super special, but the weapon seems cool because it's like a lightsaber whip, which is really sick. It's like a light whip. But then there's Jedi Sentinel, a 4 resource 5/4 that while this unit, or while the force is with you, this unit gets Sentinel, which is just a little bit good. Just a little bit. It's like a better Obi-Wan Kenobi from earlier. But then there is Qui-Gon Jinn's Aether Sprite, already showed that off. Then there's Strainer Mantis, a 5 resource 4/6 that when played deals 2 damage to an exhausted unit. The card is good and limited, especially with Cal Kestis. Beyond that, the card's not great. I'm pretty sure this is Cal's ship, actually. But, yeah, the card is decent, but nothing insane. Then there is Depa Balaba. Depa Balaba. A 6-resource 5/7 ambush saboteur. It's a big ambushing body. I would say the card's good. It's nothing insane. I think it's like slightly better draft chaff. It's like good draft chaff. Maybe we'll see play in a deck, but I doubt it. So draft chaff, but good draft chaff. But then there is Qui-Gon Jinn, a 7-resource 7/5 ambush that when defeated you may choose a non-leader ground unit. Its owner puts it on the top or bottom of their deck. So, this card is insane in Qui-Gon. Outside of that, it'll probably see play in a couple of decks, but the card's good. As like a couple, like 1 or 2 of. Probably 2 of. Well, maybe a 2 of. Qui-Gon Jinn's Lightsaber. This card is a 2-resource 3/1 upgrade that says, when played, attach it to a non-vehicle unit. And the when played says, if the attached unit is Qui-Gon Jinn, you may exhaust any number of units with a combined cost of 6 or less. This card's great. This card's great against Swarm decks. Outside of Swarm decks, it still does a decent amount of work, but not nearly as much. I wish that this was like Cal Kestis' Lightsaber, because it would do so much more work than Cal Kestis, in my opinion. But yeah. Then there is Mind Trick. 2-resource event that says exhaust any number of units with a combined cost of 4 or less. Then if you control no force units, those units lose all abilities and can't gain abilities for the phase. So that's really powerful and good. Yeah. It's a rare. I don't think it's going to be seen in a ton of different decks. So it's a rare that's niche, which who would have thought? It's another one of those that I complain about. But then there is Premonition of Doom, a 3-resource event that just says, the next time you take the initiative this phase, exhaust all units. Which, oof. Basically says, opponent, either you don't get to do anything else with your units this phase, or take the initiative. So, have fun. So you're mainly wanting to do this if the opponent hasn't played anything yet. So, yeah, I don't know. Premonition of Doom seems like a decent card. But then, getting into just regular old Cunning, first card I got is Zuckuss. A 5-resource 4/7 that on attack says, name a card, then discard the top card of the defending player's deck. And if that card, if a card with that name is discarded this way, then this unit gets +4 power for the attack. So, it's niche legendary. Who would have thought? Niche legendaries and rares. Now, I don't know. This card's fine. I don't know. It's good, sort of, I guess, in, the original, what's-his-face, Grand Admiral Thrawn deck from set 1. But beyond that, the card isn't that good. But then there's Force Speed, a 1-resource double Cunning. I think, yeah, Zuckuss is double Cunning, too, so the card's never going to see play. But Force Speed is a double Cunning event. 1 resource says attack with a unit, and for the attack, it gets on attack, return any number of non-unique upgrades attached to the defender to their owner's hands. The card sucks, and it's never going to see play. But then there's Babu Frick, a 1-resource 1/4 with an action saying you may attack with a friendly unit, a droid unit, and for the attack, it deals damage equal to its remaining HP instead of its power. The card's very niche, because who would have thought? A niche rare. The card, I don't think it's that good. Then there's Lothcat, a 2-resource 2/1 that when played, when defeated, you may exhaust a ground unit. Simple, but pretty powerful-ish, sort of. Well, no. It's good. It's good. Then there is Mysterious Hermit, a 2-resource 1/4 ambush. So, that's pretty solid, in my opinion. Well, if it had more power, it'd be better. If it was like a 2-resource 2/2 ambush, that'd be good. Like Cloud Rider, a 2-resource 3/1, that's way better. So it feels like a 2-resource, what'd that be? No, it would also be a 2-resource 3-1, wouldn't it? Well, no. I don't know. If it was like a 2-resource 4-1 ambush, that'd be great. But then there's Tuscan Tracker, a 3-resource 2-4, raid 2. When played, each enemy unit loses hidden for the phase, which that seems decent. In draft, outside of draft, it's just terrible, but whatever. Then there's Charging Phillac, a 4-resource 3-4 ambush hidden. It's good in draft. Outside of draft, it's not good. Draft Jaff, who would have thought? But then there's Dooku, a 4-resource 5-4 hidden that when played, each friendly... I'm very salty today, everybody. I am so sorry about that. I'm going to try to not be salty for the rest of the video. But Dooku is a 4-resource 5-4 hidden that when played, each friendly unit with hidden can't be attacked for this phase. Which, unfortunately, is kind of draft chaff again. Let's see. Well... in the right deck, it actually could see some play. I feel like in that third sister deck that I will never build, I feel like this card could be decent in there because it basically gives something hidden for another turn. So it seems fine. But then there is Life Wind Sage, a 4-resource 3-5 that while an enemy unit is exhausted, this unit gets raid 2. So yeah. I guess this card's fine. It's fine. It's draft shaft, but it's fine. But then there's Legacy Run. The Legacy Run, a 5-resource 3-3 that when defeated deals 6 damage divided as you choose them on enemy units. Which, even though it's a legendary, I kind of want to say draft shaft. Even then, it's not really draft shaft. The card's just niche and not that good, unfortunately. So the card's just kind of a garbage legendary, unfortunately. But then there is Sorcerers of Tund. 6-resource 6-6 shielded. The card's good. I don't know what deck it's going to really be seen play in. It's going to be great in limited, but outside of that, it's not that. I don't know. It seems like a fine card. Nothing special, nothing great, though. But then there's Ascension Cable, a 2-resource 1-3 upgrade that attaches to a non-vehicle and gives it Saboteur. The card is fine. It's a good draft card. Then there is Disturbance in the Force, a 1-resource event that says, if a friendly unit left play this phase, the Force is with you, and you may give a shield token to a unit. The card... I mean, the card's good in, what's it called? Qui-Gon. The card's good in Qui-Gon because friendly units are leaving all the time, and you need to use the Force in order to do that, so it's just kind of like allowing you to recycle a lot. And give shields to stuff, too, for 1 resource. So there's that, too. Can be really strong. Then there is Force Slow, a 1-resource event that says, give an exhausted unit -8 power for the phase. Meh. The card's meh. Then there's Impossible Escape, 1-resource event that says you may either exhaust a friendly unit or use the Force, and if you do, either exhaust an enemy unit or draw a card. The card is... Oh, sorry. If you do either, you exhaust an enemy unit and draw a card. So, the card's good in limited. It's not good outside of limited, so it's draft chaff. But then there is Psychometry, a 1-resource event that says choose another card in your discard pile, then search the top 5 cards of your deck for a card that shares a trait with the chosen card, reveal it, and draw it. So, yeah. Then there is Xian. I don't know why I'm yawning. Xian Flurry, a 1-resource event that says play a Force unit from your hand, paying its cost. It gets ambushed for the phase, and the next time it would be dealt damage this phase, prevent 2 of that damage. The card's decent in limited. I don't think it's insane, though, so it's just meh. But then there is Trust Your Instincts, a 1-resource event that says use the Force. If you do attack with a unit, it gets +2 power for the attack. It deals combat damage before the defender. I mean, it's a way better punch it if you use the Force, essentially. Because it could be on anything, And, you know, it also gets first strike. So there's that too. Then there is a Precarious Predicament. This card I'm going to go over. Well, Precarious Predicament is a 2-resource event that says return an enemy non-leader unit to the owner's hand unless its controller says it could be worse. And if they do, you may play a card named it could be worse from your hand or resources for free. So, yay, limited garbage. Then there's Force Illusion, 2-resource event that says exhaust an enemy unit, and then a friendly unit gets Sentinel for the phase. The card is decent. It's not... It kind of reminds me of Asteroid Sanctuary, but for Sentinel, because it also exhausts a unit. And then you give something a shield with a cost of 3 or less. This is the same thing, but it gives something Sentinel. But it can be to any unit, which I don't know if that makes this card better. But it seems really solid to me, and it could be played in the right deck. I just don't know what that deck could be. And it seems really good in Limited. Then there is Pounce, 2-resource event that says attack with a creature, it gets +4 power for the attack. So, good. You would think. Yeah, I think it's good. And then there's 3 Lessons. 2-resource event that says play a unit from your hand, paying its cost, it gets hidden for the phase, then you give an experience token and shield token to it. The card is, the card's not that good, unfortunately. I don't think it's very good. But then there is Tip the Scale, a 2-resource common event that just says look at an opponent's hand and discard a non-unit card from it. For sideboards, I honestly think this common is really good, and what rares should do is just, like, make some of these overstated commons a little bit better and make them rares, and make some of these niche rares that are only good in sideboards just commons. And then, well, I don't know. I don't know what to do there, honestly. Just put 2 rares in a pack. Let's do that. Let's have 2 rares in every single pack. That sounds good. That sounds good. But then there is the Will of the Force, a 4-resource event that says return a non-leader unit to the owner's hand. Let me use the Force, and if you do, you may play. Then that player discards a random card from their hand. So, the card's good. I think it's good in Limited for sure. Outside of Limited, I would just say that it's not good, so draft chaff. Then getting into Villainy, Heroism, and lastly, the, not other stuff, the, generic, colorless, whatever you want to call it, cards. So let's get right into it. So for Starfighter is a 1-resource, 1/1 hidden raid 1 space unit. It's just draft chaff. Then there's Kylo Ren, 2-resource, 2/3 overwhelm. When you play an upgrade on this unit, you may use the Force, and if you do, you draw a card. It's a decent card, but I would say mostly this card's just draft chaff, which is unfortunate, but just the truth. Then there's Fallen Jedi, 3-resource, 3/4. This is definitely draft chaff. Though it's good, because, I mean, a 3/4 body isn't bad, but you would really want it to be a 3/5. Which, I mean, it wouldn't make it, like, not draft chaff, but it would still be, yeah, it would be better. But then there's Darth Tyrannus, super rare. 4-resource, 4/3 shielded, and while the Force is with you, it gets ambush. It's a decent card. And then there is Sand Trooper Cavalry, a 4-resource, 2/6 grit. It's just draft chaff. Good one, though. Then there's Scimitar, a 4-resource, 3/4. I went over this card already in a previous video. Go check it out. Then there's Darth Malak, 5-resource, 4/7 overwhelm. When played, if you control a Sith leader unit, like Darth Revan maybe, you ready this unit, which is really powerful. Like, really, really powerful. So that's very good. But then there is HK-87 Assassin Droid, a 5-resource 4/4 that when defeated deals 2 damage to each ground unit. Great at clearing swarm decks that are only focused on the ground. But it's still a decent card. But then Army of the Dead, 6-resource, 7/6. It's draft chaff. The Sun, 7-resource, 6/6. While the Force is with you, each friendly unit gets +2 power, which is really, really dumb. It's a big ol' anthem. So it's a 7-resource, 8/8. That gives all your other stuff +2 power. if the Force was with you. Otherwise, it's a 7-resource 6/8, which still isn't bad. It's not great, but it's definitely a solid card. Then there's Darth Revan's Lightsaber, 2-resource 2/2, attached to a non-vehicle. If the attached unit is a Sith unit, it gets Grit, which is great for Revan, because Revan is probably going to die pretty quick, and this card gives it Grit, which gives it more power, which makes it deal more, which makes it quicker and easier for you to kill the opponent. So all around, this card is really good, and really pretty too. Then there is Consumed by the Dark Side, a 2-resource event that just gives 2 experience tokens to a unit and deals 2 damage to it. If it's Grit, great. Otherwise, meh. Then there is Flight of the Inquisitor, a 2-resource event that just says you may return a Force unit and a lightsaber upgrade from your discard pile to your hand. It's just meh. It's nothing insane. But then there's In the Shadows, a 2-resource event that gives an experience token to each of up to 3 friendly units with Hidden. It's also kind of meh. It's not kind of. It is. It's just meh. Then there is Refugee of the Path, 1-resource 0/3 that when played says you may give a shield token to a unit with Sentinel. I went over this card already. Crap. Caretaker Matron, a 2-resource 0/4. Oh! I'm in Heroism now. Just so you know, I'm in Heroism now. I got Caretaker Matron, a 2-resource 0/4. As an action, you can exhaust. Say, if you've played a Force card this phase, you draw a card. Which... it's draft chaff. Then there's Jedi Vector, a 2-resource 1/3 that says while this unit gets +1 power while you control a Jedi and +1 power while you control a lightsaber upgrade. So it could be a 2-resource 3/3 or just a 2-resource 1/3, which isn't great. It's draft chaff. And then there's Vulpex, 2-resource 3/2 hidden creature. It's draft chaff. Then there's Grogu, a 3-resource legendary, 1/6 hidden. As an action, you can exhaust him, say heal up to 2 damage from a unit, and if you do, you deal that much damage to a different unit. To a unit, sorry. So it seems like a fine card. It's not insane. It's a fairly bad legendary, honestly, but it's decently meh, I guess. Then there's Gungan Warrior, a 3-resource 3/2, shielded, restore 1. It's actually a pretty solid body, especially if you could somehow play it in Gar Saxon. It was like a Villainy card. It'd be like a 3-resource 4/2 shielded, restore 1, which realistically is absolutely insane. But even a 3-resource 3/2 shielded, restore 1 is still pretty solid. So it's really good in draft. Outside of draft, I don't think it'll see play anywhere, but still, it's a solid card. There's Jocasta Nu, 3-resource 3/4 when played. If you may attach a friendly upgrade friendly upgrade on a friendly unit to a different eligible unit. You get to swap an upgrade over. The card's good in draft. Then there's Luke, a 4-resource 3/5. When you play another unique unit, you may use the Force, and if you do, you give an experience token and a shield token to this unit. So it could be a 4-resource 4/6 shielded, which is pretty solid. Pretty freaking solid. But then there's Medical Frigate, 4-resource 3/6. On attack, you may deal or heal 2 damage from another unit, which, yeah, that card's actually pretty decent. I mean, a 4-resource 3/6 is pretty sizable, and then healing every single attack, it's good in draft. It's not good outside of draft, but it is really good in draft, honestly. But then there is Blue Squadron Assault Wing, a 5-resource 5/5 raid 1. It's draft chaff. Then there's the Daughter, 5-resource 4/6. When the damage is dealt to you, you may use the Force and heal 2 damage from your base, which, I mean, is pretty solid. It could be as good, if not better than the Sun, but still, it's either way better than the Sun or kind of close to as good. Maybe a little bit worse than the Sun. Then there's Lawn Beam Cruiser, 6-resource 6/6, restore 1. It's draft chaff. But then, getting into the colorless, I got Porg, A 0-resource 1/1 creature. It's Draft Chaff. Curious Flock, 1-resource 1/1. When played, you may pay up to 6 resources. And for each resource paid this way, you give an experience token to it. So, I mean, 2-resource 2/2, 3-resource 3/3. I mean, it's very meh. If it was a 1-resource 2/2, that'd be great. But it's just a 1/1, so it's Draft Chaff. Then there's Gifted Urchin, a 2-resource 1/4. It's Draft Chaff. Excuse me. Kowakian Monkey Lizard, a 2-resource 2/1 ambush. Draft Chaff for sure. It's just a worse Cloud Rider. Then there's Pelimoto, a 2-resource 1/4 on attack, give an experience token to a friendly vehicle or droid unit. 1000% Draft Chaff. Yeah, I mean, there's like no droids in this set, by the way. So it's like, oh, I don't know. You can give it to a vehicle unit too, which is decent, but still, it's just like, I think it's hilarious that there's like cards that care about droids in this set, yet there are like no droids in this set. I mean, there's a couple, don't get me wrong, but like, seriously, it's kind of hilarious to me. But then there is Ravening Gundark. Jeez. 5-resource 5/4, 1 play, deal 1 damage to a ground unit. The card is fine, but it's Draft Chaff. Then there's the Father. Big ol' legendary. 8-resource 5/10 legendary. That when you use the Force, you may deal 1 damage to this unit, and if you do, the Force is with you. So you just get to keep getting the Force. Just keep getting it over and over and over. If it costs less, this card would be busted. Like, busted. It'd be worth so much money. But because it's not, it's probably going to be played in only something like a Var Chris. But even then, I don't think this card's going to be seen play, like, pretty much anywhere. But then there's Constructed Lightsaber, another legendary. A 3-resource 2/3 upgrade that it's a legendary. You can attach it to a Force unit, and it says, if the attached unit is Heroism, it gets Restore 2. If it's Villainy, it gets Raid 2. And if the attached unit is a non-Heroism Villainy unit, it gets Sentinel. So, it's fine. It's not anything special, but I don't know. It's not very good. But then there is Go Into Hiding, a 2-resource event that says choose a unit. It can't be attacked for the phase unless it has Sentinel. So basically, you get something like sort of hidden for the phase, kind of. So that's cool. Then there's Last Words, a 2-resource event that says if a friendly unit was defeated this phase, give 2 experience tokens to a unit. It's not anything special. It's Draft Chaff. And then there's It's Worse, 7-resource event that says just defeat a non-leader unit. It's god-awful, but it's good with one other card. That card being like a Precarious Situation or whatever it's called. That Cunning card that I was talking about earlier. Way earlier. But it's not good. But this set, on the other hand, it does rock. Like, there's a lot of really good stuff about this set. I do really like this set. There's a lot of really good things about this set. I'm really looking forward to all the leaders. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Like, Kanan, for sure. Really want to build Kanan. And I really want to build, like, not this Inquisitor, but the old Inquisitor, which is really cool. Because this set, while it doesn't have a ton of insane leaders, it does have a lot of support for a ton of different decks, including many, many, many decks outside of this set, which is really what makes it rock. But for all that aside, hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It's completely free, no regrets. And have a great rest of your day, everybody. Enjoy!